Hello, back again. I know, I reviewed a book last time and people thought, oh, Nigel, that was actually quite interesting. So I thought, why not come back and review something else? Normally I would stick to sort of books, and I may do a few films. No, I won't do films because I'm a terrible film critic. Honestly, some of the stuff that I watch. But some of the stuff that I read is really, really quite interesting, and I'm hoping that lots more people watching this will be interested as well. Rather than looking at a book like I did last time, I'm going to look at something else slightly different. I'm going to have a look at a couple of magazines. Well, I'm going to look at a magazine and a zine, and we'll look at the difference between the two as well. So, yeah, let's start with magazine. Glossy magazine. Ooh. I've looked at a few glossy magazines in my time. We best not talk too much about those, but this one here, it's Haunted magazine. It's a very, very good magazine. They've changed the format for this issue. It's now like a one with a spine down the middle. It's posh. It's gone all posh and it's lovely. Really, really, really glossy, shiny, fantastico. Ooh, I'm spouting nonsense now, aren't I? But it is very well printed inside. Don't drop it on the floor, Nigel. And it's very, very easy to sort of look at and read as well. I know some people complain about looking at certain fonts on certain backgrounds, but I've had no issues whatsoever with this, and I do have problems with my eyesight. So, as you can tell, in fact, I've got specs on, but it is actually a very, very good magazine. Let's pop it on the table and have a look inside, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look. Here it is. As you can see, it's a lovely glossy magazine. Cover price is £5.99, and it's available in the UK from WH Smith's, quite a few branches of WH Smith's, and I think in the States you can get it from Barnes and Noble. If you go to the Haunted magazine website, you can actually see all the stockists on there, because there are a few other places that stock the magazine as well, and you can order the magazine direct from Haunted themselves. It's £5.99 an issue. This is the latest up-to-date issue. It's issue 35, and this came out, I do believe, at the beginning of September. It's a quarterly magazine. It comes out every 3 months, but they are looking at perhaps increasing it to maybe a bi-monthly magazine. The next edition will be coming out in December. This current edition is selling out very fast. It just happens to be the fastest selling issue that they've had to date, which is really quite interesting. As you can see, if I turn to the index, it is absolutely jam full of really, really interesting articles. And it isn't just ghosts. It covers all aspects of the paranormal, cryptozoology, spirituality, UFOs. So there's something in here for everybody. And I will just turn to one page in here, because people might say that I'm biased. I'm not actually biased. Yes, I will say I have written an article in this month's copy of the magazine. It doesn't detract from the fact that it's a very good magazine. Please don't be put off by the fact that I've got an article in it. But the rest of the articles really, really are quite fantastic. And like I said, there's something for everybody. Really, really good writers, considering that most of the people that write for this magazine are not professional writers. They're people just like you and me. They've got a passion for the paranormal. They wanted to share their passion with the public at large, which is why we write for the magazine. So there we go. Like I said, a Haunted magazine, available from WH Smith's, and let's go back to just wind everything up. I waffled a bit there, didn't I? But never mind. Haunted magazine. Like I said, it is... Oh, I can't spout about it anymore, can I? I can't sort of just... I should grab you by the neck and drag you down to Smith's and say, just buy it. Just buy it. You know, £6. What's that? It's £5.99. Buy it. Have a look. If you like ghosts and spooks and stuff, just buy yourself a copy. It is very, very, very good. And the other thing you can do with it, if you've got somebody in your life that you think a lot of, buy them a subscription for their birthday or for Christmas. 4 issues Send it out a year, there's something to remember you by. Every time a copy of the magazine turns up, they think, oh, that's really lovely. Nigel bought that for me. Not saying that I'm going to buy it for you, of course, but you can get your own ones. But yeah, buy subscription because it's a cheaper way of doing it as well, rather than buying the cover. See, I'm getting excited. When I get excited, I go... And I've forgotten where it was. Oh, God, I'm so old. It's cheaper to buy a subscription than it is to buy individual copies, and you get it sent to you and it turns up in the post, so you don't have to venture out of your house and go down to WH Smith's. That's another advantage of it being in WH Smith's, because if you're like me, I keep suggesting this, don't I? I really should stop doing it, because WH Smith's is a fantastic lending library. You can go and look at the magazines on the shelf. Let's see which ones you like. So, UK folks, go into WH Smith's and have a look and see if you like this one. But be advised, it is selling very, very quickly, and it could well sell out, as this is proved to be, as I said in the bit we had a look inside, it is the most popular issue today of this magazine, and it's going from strength to strength. So I would go and buy it just to read my article, but then again, I'm completely biased, aren't I? And there's part 2 of my article in next month's issue as well. So you really need to get this one and next month's one so you can see what happens to Ken and the rest of the people that were staying in room 611. I know what I saw. There you go. Haunted Magazine. I hope I've convinced you to go and buy yourself a copy. Haunted Magazine, lad, you can pay me later. Okay, thank you. And there we go. So, Haunted Magazine. Magazines, you know what, I didn't do that, did I? I said I was going to tell you the difference between magazines and zines. Magazines tend to be like this, glossy, really sort of professional publications, lots of different articles in, team of writers, you know, all the usual stuff, well laid out. Zines, however, are like short run little pamphletty type magazines put together by enthusiasts, and that's exactly what you get with this really wonderful little zine. It's called Shuck. It's a local one for Norfolk, so most of the things in here relate to Norfolk, but don't let that stop you actually having a look or buying it, because it is, again, jam-packed full of some really interesting stuff. And it's not just all paranormal spooky tales, there's folklore, there's witchcraft. This copy here, let's have a look at this copy here. This is the latest edition. I have actually got all the editions to date bar one, because I had run out of that one on Etsy, but it's now back in print, so I'm going to go buy that as well, because I bought this one to start with and I liked it so much I went back and bought all the other issues as well, and there's 5 to date. It does cost you, ooh, off the top of my head I can't remember now, I think it's £6, but £7 if you buy it from them. So they're not cheap, but then again you have to appreciate the fact that someone is actually doing this work off their own bat, and they don't have a big publishing house behind them, so it is all paid for. So the money that they earn from the magazines, from the zine, sorry, will go back to creating another edition of the zine, and it's really, really great to be able to get these things. So let's have a look inside this one as well and see what we think. Okay, there we go. On the table it goes. Let's go. So here we go. This is Shuck number 5. It was actually issued in August 2022, and it's entitled The Deep. What you find at each one of these little zines is they all relate around one certain little topic, and this one is quite close to my heart because it relates to the sea and the beach and the seaside. Something that I love, really, really love very much. So let's have a look inside. As you can see, it's really well illustrated. This is the one thing that gets me about it. And the illustrations are done by a gentleman called Matt Willis, and I do believe the articles are written by, I think it's a lady called Ada Nemesis. So there we go, that's the first bit inside. Look at that. I mean, they really are fun. They're like old sort of medieval woodcuts. That's what the pictures remind me of. So we go Shuck, issue 5, The Deep. So here's a look at the index, and as you can see, it is all different little bits, mostly revolving around the sea, which is why it's called The Deep. Honestly, Nigel, you don't have to tell them all that, really, do you? Because it's quite obvious. Oh dear. I will get good at this reviewing, like at some stage, you know. So There we go. So you get your introduction, and then you go through various articles. And that's a fabulous local story, that one. And in fact, in this issue, for those of you who listen to our podcast, they actually cover off some of the stories that we tell in our podcast, in our Ghosts of the Coast. So there we go. So like I said, it is absolutely jam-packed full of really, really good articles again, and some really fantastic little illustrations. And I love anything like this. It's always good to support small concerns, especially when they're local ones, because being a Norfolk Paranormal group, we're really interested in local tales. Let's sit back down and have a little chat about it, shall we? So there we go. Quick look inside, and you can see why I like the magazine so much. Yes, it's a simple little format. Yes, I said magazine, didn't I? It's not a magazine, it's a zine. Yes, it's a simple little format. There's some lovely illustrations, like we said. But it's full of really great articles, and the thing that gets me is there's the fact that it relates to Norfolk. We are a Norfolk Paranormal group. Myself and Juliet, we're out there. We do sort of base a lot of what we do in our home county, because it is a home county that's absolutely chocker full of folklore tales and spooky stuff. Being a rural county, God, honestly, you get a lot of that, because there's not like country folk that tell you strange stories. Laugh me, but yet really mustn't take the mickey out of the Norfolk accent, Nigel. That is not nice. I know. I've lived here for 40 odd years. I'm nearly local, but not quite. I don't have the accent yet. Where was I? Yeah, I bought this one first. Okay, The Deep. I enjoyed it so much, I went back and bought the next three previous editions. There's one missing that was out of print, but they've now got it back in print again, so I'm going to go back and buy that too, because I'm going to collect them all. As the next one comes out, I'm going to buy it, because I really, really enjoy it. It's a nice, easy little read, but it's full of really good information as well. It's got other topics in that I wouldn't normally look at. I know nothing about witchcraft. I know a bit more about it now because I've looked in here. Fascinating stuff. There's spells as well. Yeah, I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a go. I am. I'm going to cast a spell. I think I might be able to do it. I don't know. I'm not really a witch, but there's instructions how to do it in there. So let's have a go. Enough waffle from me for now, okay? As you can tell from these reviews, I feel very passionately about the paranormal, and I do tend to get excited with the stuff that I do, which is why my reviews are a bit like, oh, it's marvellous, look at this, fantastic. I'm going to review something horrible at some stage, I know, and I don't really want to do that. So at the moment you are going to get reviews of things that I like rather than things that I don't like, until I can pluck up the courage to say something horrible about something. But I will do further down the line, that's guaranteed. But for the time being, my recommendations: Haunted Magazine, definitely worth buying a copy of that. Shuck Zine, worth buying a copy of this as well, especially if you're interested in local folklore, witchcraft and tales from Norfolk. It is very, very good, and the people that actually run this magazine are quite approachable, and they have a really nice Instagram page where they sort of share bits and pieces too, so go follow them on there. I'm going to put a link for their Etsy page where you can buy copies of the magazine from down here. Okay, go over and give it a look, because not only that, Matt does sell a number of his illustrations as well, and if you like this sort of woodcutty type illustrations that they have on here, then there's some really good ones in there you might like to buy, put in picture frames. I do believe he sells cards and all sorts of things, so it's really quite nice, something different. There we go. And like I said with Haunted Magazine, buy one as a gift. I bought Jules a copy of it because I liked it so much. I thought she's going to love it as well, and she did. You know, there's nothing quite like it, and it's not much. You know, £6-7 for a magazine or a zine. Buy it as a little gift for a friend. There you go. Take care, everyone. Until next time. Next time it's probably be a book again. I'm not sure I'm going to branch out into anything else, because I certainly couldn't do film reviews because, oh God, yeah, no. Or television. I've thought about television because there's lots of things on the telly that I've been watching thinking, oh, that's really cool, I'm going to tell people about that. Or podcasts. No, I'll stick with books. Safer there. Take care everyone, see you soon. Bye bye.